or this series. Good
Oh, we're not
idea.
starting. This is just the pre-show.
Oh, I know, but this is probably should be pre-show stuff. Like you would have been proud of me. I cut way back on my notes, like for as many pages as I could have taken.
Oh, yeah, right.
I think I got like maybe 15 pages out of like 20 or 30 I could have made.
Yeah.
And then like I'd say maybe a good 20 of those pages got stuck together by my kid knocking milk over on the table. I'm like, swell.
Oh, geez.
But it only glued the top together. But it made it seem like a porno mag or some shit. I'm like trying to like peel them apart at the table, and my wife's sitting there staring at me like, what happened to your book?
That's fine.
The show was really good. Don't judge me.
Yeah, I ended up liking it. Like, well, I know we'll get into it, but my memory was a little fuzzy of the show. And as I'm watching like the last like four episodes, my notes like dwindled down to nothing because I just spent more time just watching it and soaking it in. Like, I don't remember any, well, can't say I don't remember none of it, but what I did remember was not much. And I'm just like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, I mean that
Fuckers killed it when it was getting good, really, really good. Because
yeah,
they were teeing stuff up for bigger story arcs. So,
it seemed that way from what I read. Like they were they were in the middle of filming one episode,
no.
like Brimstone was, and they had four other scripts coming like in the pipe, and they got shut down. So I was like, oh shit, that's exactly what happened to Ethan and Cy.
Yeah, and even George R. Martin wrote one of the scripts that
Did he
was supposed
really?
to be coming. Yep, from the
Huh.
little bit that I was reading back about.
That would have been cool, I guess.
He ended up working on like Beauty and the Beast then, I think, instead. But the
That does
Ron
not
Perlman
surprise
show.
me. Yeah,
Oh,
with Sarah, Linda Hamilton. I was gonna say, yeah, the one with Sarah Connor.
yep. Then she went off and did a real movie.
Yeah,
Terminator.
which killed her sitcom career, which killed the rest of her career, which is yeah.
You know, sometimes I
I,
wonder if she thinks back to, I didn't mind doing the Terminator 1 and 2, but after Terminator 2, what the fuck happened with my career?
now
It's like
I
she
don't
traded
know.
it in for the 15 minutes of glory that comes with those, but there was no follow-up. Even Arnold was smart enough to keep doing like other roles, keep the projects coming high profile. He wasn't doing like these horrible movies yet. He was bound to get to those eventually, but he was still on a
Uh,
roll after T2 for at least 3 more years.
yeah, I'd say so. Eraser is where I started getting bored with his movies. So I'd
Um,
say
yeah.
probably up to True Lies. But
Wait, did he
was
do a movie called Collateral or Collateral Damage?
that sounds very familiar.
I think that's where I finally started to check out because Eraser was okay, Sixth Day was okay, End of Days was fine, but then there was one I want to say it was called Collateral Damage, and that's when I started thinking I think I might be done on Arnold movies for a while. I wanted
that
my
sounds
King
really
Conan
familiar.
movie.
That would have been cool, but his heart attack, and then two, his gubernatorial race
Well,
that kiboshed all that shit.
have you seen his physique lately? For a guy his age, he could still put a pounding to anybody like us.
Yeah, he still looks like Jack LaLange at that age. Like, do not fuck with him.
That's why I think King Conan make a little more political. He doesn't have to do, any big action scenes unless he really can do it. I mean, I don't want him to get hurt, but like, I think we could still get that. Just let him grow his beard out, give him the hair. He's King Conan. He's got to deal with some political machinations and have his kid, not his kid, but like Conan's kid be the next one to take over the mantle, you know? That way you keep the
Yeah,
world alive. That seems like a more honest approach for Conan than what they tried to do with Jason Momoa.
I didn't watch that one. I mean, I know I didn't
It's
know who he
a
was at the time, but even now, knowing that he's Aquaman, I'm still like, I don't want to watch that.
oh, he's gonna be Lobo though.
Which again is kind of cool.
Well,
Probably
that's
cooler.
more, yeah,
Yeah, much better than Aquaman, I think.
and much more
Eh,
him, actually. Because I've been following him since like his Stargate Atlantis days. He has always been a huge Lobo fan. He actually carries himself like Lobo does. It's almost like a match made in hell. You know, it's ready to. Well, the only thing he doesn't do is like smoke cigars. Otherwise, he's got the foul mouth. He's a badass. You know, that's a role he's been waiting to play, and he's built to play it. Never should have cast him as Aquaman. That's where I
no,
think I appreciate they were trying to do something new and different, but that's not. They should have just gone with Lobo to start with for him.
I don't know if they were trying to do anything new and different. I think it was just the same old. And they're like, he's a big name right now. Let's put him in this movie too.
So you
Like,
see, something different. I mean, is he's not in the orange top with blonde hair. You know,
yeah,
they
which
went a little
is
more like tribal sort of look.
yes, which was I
But
think
that's
what
not
really
racist. Just saying.
no, it's not. But like people recognize Aquaman as the orange top, green pants, which is fine.
Prima donna white boy. Yep.
Useless superhero. Um,
He
I
sticks
don't
to
know. They
fish.
it did work when he wore it in the film, but he is a very different Arthur Curry than what we see in the comic books and cartoons and stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's like he's much more of a Lobo Wolverine type, whatever.
Yeah. The only other role I could see him possibly doing, and it's never going to happen. It would be Bruce Wayne.
That would be cool.
He'd have to shave and cut his hair, though. He's willing to
And
shave. I don't know about cutting his hair.
yeah, man, that's the moneymaker and shit.
Yep. Because you can always grow the facial hair back. The long hair, will take even longer to grow back.
Oh, shit.
I mean, unless you're
Yeah,
going
no.
bald, don't do it, bro. Keep the long hair.
You
I
got to get
couldn't
those
rock long hair.
extensions. I wanted to have long hair so bad when I was a kid, and my hair curled naturally once it got like by my ears and shit.
Yeah.
And my dad, who's of course a cop and a very strict asshole, was like, "No, I won't say the words that he used, but basically called me less than masculine, as it were."
Uh-huh.
Um, so it's like I was always sad that I didn't get to do that. And same thing with growing a beard, like my goatee. I had to wait until they like took a mini vacation up here to Oregon, and they were gone for like a week and a half. And it's like, well, fuck it, I'm growing this bitch out finally, because my dad, being a cop and somewhat racist, basically said only gangbangers and drug dealers have goatees like that. And I'm like, I
Yeah,
see.
vato
Well,
loco for life.
a lot of my friends were kind of that way, but not like heavy. They were just happened to be Hispanic. I went to a public school in Central California. That's just how it is.
I went to public school
Um,
in San Diego, California. Half my friends were
so,
Mexican, the other half were Vietnamese. I mean, big love.
um, yeah, like you get to a point where you're like, I didn't know what racism was for a good long time because everybody was everybody's friend as a kid.
As long as you like Batman, the animated series, Ninja Turtles, or any combination of any cartoons at that time, you were all good. That was
Yes,
the main
and
topic of conversation in junior high and elementary school and all that. It's like if you had the same interests, nobody gave a fuck. If you didn't, you didn't
yeah,
talk. Big deal.
that is kind of the glory of Gen X. Like I want to say different types of people have an easier time coming together on things and talking about certain things.
Oh, kind of like our show.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're not officially starting for you pre-show freeloaders. I mean, well, you're paying for it, so it's not really freeloading.
Do I need to put up the green screen, or Skeeter and Chad get to see all my mess behind me?
Up to you.
I don't care. Chad's family anyway.
Peterman and Slater.
Yeah. I can't remember if Chad was a junior or a senior when I was a freshman. He was one of the first people to kind of take me under his wing, and was one of those people, like we just said, I had plenty to talk about in common with. So
And guys, if you're watching this and you're on Patreon, you're the only ones who get to watch this besides us. So when you see the view count is only like 3 or 4, it's just us. If you want to be on, say something. We got shows coming up. Yo. So instead of a live Q&A, maybe we'll have you on instead.
Oh, sorry. I thought I did 6 pages of notes on one episode. I was like, ooh, wow.
I was going to say, dear Lord, boy, what were you watching? Freddy's dead?
Not this show. Not unless I have to.
Must have been watching Batman Beyond or RoboCop the TV show.
No, I've actually never seen Batman Beyond.
You're fired.
I know everyone said I didn't like the idea of canceling the animated series to have future Batman. So I was like, and I'm
it
out.
wasn't canceled just to have future Bat. Because it went from Batman to Superman to Justice League. So Batman the Animated Series was over before Justice League Unlimited had hit. And that's after that is when they did Batman Beyond.
Wait, really?
Yes. Your timeline's
I didn't
mixed
know
up.
that. Oh.
They did not
Either
cancel
way,
Batman the Animated Series just to do Batman Beyond.
no, they canceled Batman the Animated Series because they didn't have any more fucking stories to tell. And it was going to get expensive.
Oh, they did, but they kept changing the direction and the ratings were starting to tank because they did that. That season 3, I don't know, man. I love the show, but even I'll say season 3 of Batman or volume 3 if you're breaking it down by like home video releases, like the DVD set. That's about the time I'm like, the story doesn't quite feel right anymore, and the animation quality is tanking.
Yes.
But then season 4, the story came back around and it ended strong. But I don't know. Putting Robin in there wasn't exactly my idea of a great idea.
The younger Robin, you mean?
I don't have a problem with it per se. It's just, I don't know. I didn't think it was handled great, but
they made him more kid-like than he was in the earlier seasons. Like I'm sorry. It was Dick. Dick was the one that was in the first season and whatnot. But did they change that to Tim later on?
Okay, now my memory's fuzzy about stuff like that. But
because they might
I only rewatched that show like 2 years ago. But
I don't remember if that was Lauren Lester or not. I don't know. Again, it's like you said. Once they started changing things on Volume 3, that's where my viewing gets a little bit spotty. I want to really like that because that's where they brought in Bane,
right?
But I don't think they did him justice. For one thing, giving him big ass lips just made him look ridiculous. Like that is what sealed him as like he looked like a luchador. Before he just had a kind of a cool mask that looked kind of like fucking Mil Mascaras or whatever.
But then again, you like Bane and Harley Quinn, the animated series.
Yes, I do. And they don't have his mouth open there.
I need to get around to catching up on Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I have not seen any of this season. Maybe like 5 minutes of episode 1.
Dude, I've been hearing it is phenomenal. And I'm like, I still need to finish like the first season. I liked it enough. I keep getting wrapped up in other things, or Amy wants to watch something, and I'm like, oh, God, can I watch stuff I want to watch, please? It's usually late
It,
at night, and by that point, I just want to play a video game. So
yeah, like the last couple nights, like I've been so tuckered out that I'm falling asleep playing the video game.
I did that with Ghost of
Sometimes,
Tsushima, unfortunately. I'd wake up and I'd be like, it's 11:45. What am I doing standing in the middle of a meadow on my horse? Fuck.
where am I?
In a place where I couldn't fast travel.
Shit, that sucks.
That game is long.
Oh,
I'm
is
about
it?
ready to start up Dead Space soon. So
I may get that soon. I didn't pick it up because Brandy was, of course, going Coos Bay, which is 2 hours away for the surgery. So I
oh,
want to make
okay.
sure we had plenty of money and shit like that. But now that she's home,
All
I
bets
think
are
I need to
off.
go try to rescue Nicole.
I think there's an Easter sale on PlayStation Network. I am not positive, or it's a spring sale, something like that. I don't know if this one's on, if Dead Space is on sale or not, but it might be worth taking a peek just to, you could save a
I
few bucks. That
didn't.
might be the way to go.
Oh, I did. I didn't see it this afternoon, but I'll look
Okay, then
again.
that's
Like,
probably not.
they have one,
They'll have
spring
another one
picks.
in the next week or two anyway.
Yeah. Right now they've got that one sale and then the games under 20,
Hmm.
which is great. But yesterday, before she got home, I was looking through the retro remasters, and I was kind of like, maybe some of these. And once she got home, I looked at it today, and they took that sale off, and it's like,
Ah, that'll
son
do
of
it.
a bitch. Yeah, because eventually I want to get the remasters of Destroy All Humans.
Oh, the first one is awesome. I'm not
Is
gonna
it?
platinum that one, but I got all the story trophies. That was so much fun. Although it's taken a little while to get used to the controls. 'Cause
I
that's not what I
respect that.
remembered from the original version. So it was like, or at least what I thought I remembered of the original version. But it's fun.
Really? Huh.
I
I
never
have
played the second one either, though. But
I would try the second one. If you like the first one, the second one is much easier, but you get to do a
okay.
lot more things.
Ah, gotcha.
So it's a give and take kind of thing, but it's got a good story to it too.
Hmm. Good to know.
Yeah, it's basically like jumping from Austin Powers 1 to 2.
But not three. Okay. That
Not 3. You
works.
don't go no 70s.
No members being gold.
No.
Okay, my bad.
uh oh, you know what? Totally forgot to mention it last week on the episode where we were talking about uh Red Dragon. We had a perfectly clear no child molester policy for that season. No Michael Jackson, no Roman Polanski, no creepy ass fucking Kevin Spacey type people. Good ass season.
Damn
It's
right.
really how I should have closed out that one. But no, I was trying to find uh, the deleted scene where Fiennes was like making fun of the fact that Jackson was on set.
Oh,
Like everyone, everyone kind of like laughed uncomfortably.
it don't matter if you're black or white.
See, to me, that was like his last really good song that I liked. And it was at that point in time where you don't want to admit that you like songs.
Yeah.
Like Prince. I lost out. I missed out on my younger days of listening to some cool ass funky tunes.
He was okay. I was never the biggest fan of him.
Uh, the the most that I listened to of Prince growing up was the Batman soundtrack,
Yep. Same.
and that's not even really the whole album. There's just a handful of songs on it that I really like.
Okay.
But growing up now, I'm like, no one's gonna call me homosexual just because I listen to this. I like it.
I listened to
Doesn't
Madonna when I was a kid. What does that say?
Oh, I still do. I downloaded a fuck ton of Madonna songs the other day.
It's not the only thing I downloaded to Madonna back in the day.
That stupid, expensive ass book.
Oh, that book? Oh, what was that
The
called? Was
stu-
that just called Sex? Or was that called
yeah.
something else? Oh, okay.
No, yeah,
I
it was.
I think I had that back in college, but I sold it and made like a ton of money off of it.
Oh, I bet. I bet. I remember
I had college bills
Sam.
to pay.
Was it Musicland back then, or was it Sam Goody at that point? I think it might have
Sam,
been me still.
it might have been both.
Oh, that's true. Um, I remember they had hanging advertisements above all the
Yeah.
tapes and CDs. Like, oh, the book's coming out. We're gonna have it here. Sold out instantly. And obviously, my mom's was like, "No, you're not getting that. We're not gonna let you look at that." Like, but it's Madonna. I wants to know.
And she wants to see.
She wanted to show. She still wants to show, and she just needs to stop.
Yeah, it's not funny or cute anymore.
No, she, and I don't want to say this derogatorily towards her specifically because it's becoming a trend. She's getting unnecessary surgery. And like a lot of people are getting that. Like we were talking about it a couple weeks ago with Natty Neidhart. She did not need to get the surgery that she needed. She was a beautiful woman before, and now she just doesn't even really look like herself in any way, shape, or form. Which I guess is the point of the surgery. But I don't know. Ladies need to love themselves more, and Hollywood needs to love the ladies too, as they are, not require the fucking bulimia and surgeries and all sorts of whatever the fucks they have to do to get a job,
Yeah,
or to not reach what Amy Schumer called their last fuckable day.
that was her last day. She was dating Dolph Ziggler. No, I'm kidding.
uh, I appreciate that he wanted to get a foot in the door for
Marathoner.
stand. I do.
I
I
said
like
it. You
him.
didn't have to.
I like him,
he,
and he does
he's
do pretty
great,
good at
but they
stand
missed
up.
the
But
boat with him.
oh fuck, yes, they did.
People want to
He
blame his stupid name for it. That no, that wasn't the problem. They would have he could have just gone by Dolphin. It would have been fine.
Yeah, even when they called him Nikki or whatever it was in Spirit Squad, like he could still
Yep.
do a bunch of amazing shit.
That's why he's been wrestling for over like nearly 20 years now.
Yeah, and he never puts on a half-ass show. He does whatever fucking job he's supposed to do, no matter how redonkulous it may be.
Mhm.
So
People
even when
wonder
we
if
have,
he'd do fine without being in WWE, like if he went to the independents like Cardona did or AEW. I think he'd do all right, but I don't think he would get over. It's too little too late now.
oh, that's too bad.
Cardona's probably going to go back to WWE though. But
Uh,
he's sticking to his guns. He doesn't want to change his name. He doesn't want to go back to being Zack Ryder. He doesn't want to be doing any of that goofy shit. He wants to come back as Matt Cardona, as his current character, and he probably is going to want a nice little payday. And if they're not going to give it to him, he's perfectly fine doing what he's doing.
yeah,
So
yeah, and they if he's going to go back to WWE, I'd like to see he and Ziggler put on another match together because they worked really well together
yeah,
on the mic and in the ring. Like they did a good job together. But I
Cardona's
don't
good. I
see,
like him.
yeah, I don't see Vince showing him any more respect than he did when Hawkins came back.
Oh, right.
Like that should have been a big thing, and it turned out to be a no thing for the show anyway. It's like that that should have been more. I'm sorry.
Where's less than? Less is more.
Well, we all know that Vince has his idea of what's over and what's not. And if it's not, then he's going to make it over.
Because if it's not on his desk bent over, he don't care. You're welcome, pre-show watchers. You're welcome.
So get over there, Roman.
Drop those trousers, kid.
Shit.
This is how you get over, boy. Oh, okay. There I go, getting canceled again. Anyway.
Okay, I'm ready. Sorry, I was just trying to find where my last page was. Because again, this shit's all stuck together like it's a porno mag. I hate my kids, dude. Like they make everything awkward. And I'm sitting there like trying to pull these pages apart, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, dude, fucking envelopes really need to just have milk on them to seal instead of fucking wasting money on adhesive. Just pour it in milk.
Yeah, right.
It's perfectly stuck.
It's stuck. Hey, Daddy, looky what I did. I made your pages stick together for you.
I want to say
podcast.
My son accidentally knocked over a glass of milk this weekend while the wife was away. That he got really upset about because he thought I was going to get pissed off. And I got down on my knees and I helped him, and I was trying to like clean it up. And I'm like, baby, don't cry over spilled milk. That's not in the rules. You can't do that. It's okay.
Just help clean it up. That's all you need to even try and do. Or if I tell you you don't have to clean it, then don't worry about it. I'm not yelling right. If I'm not yelling right away, I'm not going to start yelling now.
Exactly. And then maybe a day later, Zoe does the same thing, fucking around, trying to stretch across the goddamn table from the chair, knocks over milk, gets it all over my fucking notes and my tablet and everything else. There was crying. She cried, but it was knocked over the spilled milk. Oh yeah,
you
that
didn't
upset
knock
me.
enough over. Gotcha.
I was mad because she's obnoxious like that. She's like a spiteful cat. I wanted a child, like a human child. I got a spiteful cat.
Yeah, maybe in the next life.
Or it's one of my old cats coming back and be like, hey, now we can hang out forever.
You should have baby bagged that one.
that was fucked up and gross, by the way. I was waiting to see what was going to come out of that basket.
Oh, I know, right?
I guess we'll end up having to say it again twice, but like they took so much from like past science fiction and made it work for this, like in a way. Like they took Kolchak, and instead of throwing in just regular monsters into the mix, they threw episodes like Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, where they have eugenics and shit like that with, baby and was it Ovuvat? That's what it was. I'm like, ew, that's gross. Like that's having a sperm bank called the Skeet Beat.
Wait, was that Ash versus Evil Dead?
Yes.
I thought so.
I don't know if
I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
I don't know if that's what they called it, but
one of their favorite customers.
Right. I got kids all over this country.
Well,
Ah.
that reminds me of a Triple H promo from like years ago when he and Shawn Michaels were like DX with China, and he was celebrating winning like the Intercontinental Championship from Shawn Michaels. It was like a Christmas episode, and it was this goofy ass match. And after he pinned him and he's celebrating, he's like, "This is the greatest day of my life." Next to the day I had my kids were born. Well, I don't have any kids that I know of. The day my kids are born, well, I don't have kids that I know of. I'm just like,
I,
holy shit. Old school Triple
I
H.
I love Trips. He's a goddamn treasure.
He, I know it's not popular, but he was my favorite for the longest time. Actually, it was Triple H and him. I was never really a Rock fan. Loved watching The Rock talk. Did not love him watching him wrestle. He wrestled like shit. He
I
was
can't remember
good,
who I
but he
was.
was not like the others. The
Well,
way he did
shit,
a
dude. His
sharpshooter looked fucking horrible.
Oh, well, yeah. I know his dad trained him, and his dad was a tremendous athlete and showman. But his
Oh yeah,
finisher was the drop kick. So
yeah,
they didn't have to get that detailed in their ring psychology back then,
right.
or their oeuvre of moves.
Well, his whole, the people's elbow is like one of the worst fucking finishing movers of all time. But almost all of the top main eventers outside of like Stone Cold had these really flashy, gimmicky finishers that are like, really? You beat him with a leg drop. You beat him with an elbow. You do a fireman's carry into a back body drop. What? These are finishers? No, these have been set up moves for years. Now they're finished. Yeah, they're finishers.
Yeah, and how many versions of the DDT are finishers now?
That is the thing that pisses me off actually. Is like I hate it. I hate it. I hate it because
It pisses
some of
him
my
off
favorites
too.
were Jake the Snake and Raven had the best DDTs ever in this business. And now they're just a random move in the middle of the match.
Well,
Because I loved
yes.
Raven's even flow. That was so smooth, so different from Jake's. Jake would hit you on the back and you just drop straight down. Raven would easy flow or even flow it right back, and it looked awesome.
Like he jumped back.
You just kind of fell back with the guy, but very
Oh,
nice and smooth. If you ever go on like YouTube and just do Raven WCW or ECW DDTs, I swear you'll see like how he does it. It's very smooth, and he always protected his guys.
cool.
It's one of the best looking DDTs. I've always been a Raven guy, so
I dig on that. And I think it was Jake that said basically that doing that in the middle of a match lessens it. Like if you do it so many times in the middle of the match, then it doesn't do anything, then what difference does it make?
they've trained people that it's a lesser move now, and you can't
Yeah.
undo that unless it's company wide and nobody does a DDT, and one person does it only, and it's their finisher. But they'll not do that. I mean, the last time a move got over was like the Diamond Cutter DDP, Diamond Dallas
Oh,
Page, baby.
I was
But
thinking the
it's also
pedigree, but
known as
yeah.
the RKO. So
Really?
RKO is the same damn move. So
That's Well, speaking of Randy, is he the one that does the DDT off the ropes?
no. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. The middle rope where he drapes them. It's the draping. I like that, but they don't treat that as a finisher either.
They should. That one's neat. Because I mean, it's basically it makes it look like the feet being on the middle rope sells the move for them. They don't really have to do much beyond that. It's just a good move.
Right. And you can even have the bigger dudes get into that move without problem. That would have been a better
Yes.
finisher for him, less work for him and everybody else. But He's got a back injury right now, so
Oh, that
he's
sucks.
had one since like last summer.
Well, shit, he's had back surgery how many times too?
Shoulder surgery. It's been the shoulder
Oh,
surgeries for him.
oh, that's right. And Cena's the neck and back, right?
I think so.
How's Big E doing? Have you heard anything about him lately?
He will be evaluated after WrestleMania. And that's just to
Oh.
be evaluated to see if he can return to working out and training for in-ring. Because
Ah,
he's basically been told don't do anything for like a year. They want to see
and
how well that
that's
next healing before they give him the go ahead to start preparing again. He's going to be probably the longest return back from a neck injury. So he's probably looking at May. It might be another 6 months. That'll make it the longest time somebody's been out from a neck surgery outside of Edge, who retired.
yeah. But they forced Edge to retire, didn't they? Or did the doctor?
The doctors, they scared him too much, and he's like, "No, fuck it, I'm done."
Yeah, because I mean he was Beth. I don't know if Beth was pregnant at that point, but
No,
he had his family going for him or getting ready to go for him.
yeah. I mean, I think that's when they started dating, actually.
Oh well, I guess he just didn't want
Anyway,
to fucking be a quadriplegic then, which is just
yep. That almost happened to Big E, who was within like a millimeter of being paralyzed.
that.
But his
Like,
big, thick neck is what saved him, actually. Oddly enough, it usually works against you, but in his situation, it worked for him. Amy was actually asking me about this the other night. She's like, "Doesn't that usually work against you?" Yeah, but not in his situation. And he's the exception to the rule. His big, thick neck is what actually saved him from breaking and being paralyzed.
huh? Well, if Mr. DNA was here, he'd explain how when the neck goes flat and all the plates line up, the dinosaur will hit. um, that's actually kind of cool and fortunate because I do like him. I was watching WrestleMania 29 the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
he'd come out for with Punk and AJ. No, no, no. He was with AJ and
Dolph.
Brian. Oh, was it Dolph?
That was the trio when that was going on. It was AJ, Dolph, and Big E.
Okay. And again, he could have had a great match out there, but they had him just hanging out with AJ, bodyguard or whatever the fuck they call him. It's like, it's so much better than that.
Yep.
Which was it the year after that? No, I don't remember. It was where the New Day basically came back or formed. They tried to make them heels. They had a pre-show event with Jimmy and Jay, and I want to say Jimmy fucked up his shoulder like at the very
Probably.
beginning of the match, and they had to like I don't want to say rewrite the match on the fly, but they just basically had to improvise. But they didn't televise that match outside of the network, so it's like, well, lame.
Right.
Yeah, wait, I don't remember. They didn't show it. You had to like actually watch it on the network. It didn't come up on the DVD, I don't think.
Gotcha.
Anywho's.
And welcome back to Sons and Shadows cast. I ain't gonna start with that.
All
I'm gonna get my water. I'll be right back and then we'll start.
right.
There we go.
Hi, welcome
Yo,
back.
yo, 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 yo.